Grettel Morejon is 30 years old and she has dedicated her entire life to ballet. Right now, she is a prima ballerina of the Cuban National Ballet, an honor exclusively reserved for the most perfect and talented dancers. Such responsibility makes her one of the most successful and promising dancers of the company created by Alicia Alonso. She has performed all over the world, collecting standing ovations from every audiences. In the Cuban National Ballet headquarters, we talked with Grettel Morejon today in From Havana. Thank you, Grettel, for receiving us here in the Cuban National Ballet headquarters. It's a pleasure for us and for all the team from Havana.
It's a pleasure to me.
Well, tell me, how the ballet came into your life? It was you or your parents give it to you?
I have a neighbor who lived very close to me, and one day he saw me walking with my grandma, and he said, would you like to do the ballet test? And I said, okay. From this moment, I knew that I want to be a ballerina. I didn't have any doubt. Even I had a very little time to prepare and to training, but I like the idea, so I get into.
How is the life of a little girl when she got into ballet?
It's very hard, first of all, because when you are a child, it's difficult that the child understand that has to be concentrate and has to train in several times and several hours a day. And also you have to combine the training with the scholarship. So it's hard because you have to wake up early, like at 7 or 6 a.m. and the training takes 8 hours when you're a child. So it's really hard.
And how's the life of a professional dancer now? I mean, how's your hour after hours, your day after day?
It's not easy now because you have to realize that ballet is hard because you have to fight with your body, you have to fight with the technical, with age, with the years, I mean. Usually I wake up at 7 a.m. I had a class, hour and 50 minutes, and then we have rehearsal until 5:30. And then in the afternoon I have a class because I'm in university now, so I have to combine that two.
Usually musicians have a favorite song. Do you have a favorite play? I mean, the one play you prefer to dance?
The ballet I like the most is Giselle. I like Giselle and I like Carmen. I think it's because I like ballet that I have to think about the character. I like ballet with a history. I like to create different characters in my mind and put on a stage. I mean, when I do Giselle, I think things that has to be with me, with my personality, that I can put on a stage.
In that line, how much of histrionism has ballet? Do you study the characters? Do you get into their skins? How it works, the process to get into a character?
It's a process, and it's the thing that you have to be if you are a ballerina, if you are a real artist, because you can separate the technical with the interpretation. The technical is your language for being expressive, for say something that you want to say in your dance. So it's not about do something right or something correct. It's about to transmit and to say something with your dance. And the only way you can do that is believing that you are the character that you are dancing in this moment. So if you are Odile, you can interpret Odile. You have to be Odile.
Do you suffer on the stage? I mean, do you cry? Have you cried on the stage? But during the play or after the play?
During the performance, sometimes happen in Giselle, most of the thing in the madness part. It's very emotional, and sometimes I realize that I'm being in the performance. I be the character that I'm interpreting, and this is very like a.
You became first dancer. What qualities should a dancer have to become first dancers?
A first dancer is the dancer that can combine all the elements, combine interpretation with the style, with the technical, and it's also an attitude. You need to be an example for the child, for the young dancers who came into the company. It's the one that you see, and it's not perfect, but you see in other level in the company.
On that line, there's any play you haven't danced yet that you wanted to dance? Maybe it's not in the repertoire of the company, but one play you want to dance and you haven't.
My dream is dance Manon, but we don't have Manon in our repertoire. I don't know if it's. I'm pretty sure it's because it's really expensive for the country. But I would like to do more ballet like that, like Manon, like La Dama de las Camelias in Spanish. I like that. I like most of all the neoclassical. I like Balanchine. And I would do some piece in modern piece. So I would love to dance everything.
You've had offers to dance outside the national ballet. I mean, outside Cuba, you've had options. I mean, do you have offers?
Yes, I had several, and in this moment, well, I've been invited to Peru to dance there with the national company there, and always I go there. It's a great experience that I have, and I would love to do more kind of job like that.
It helps to dance other
really,
techniques.
really helps. When you go outside the classicals, you work other muscles and your mind spread out. And when you return to the classical, the ballet, the classical ballet, it really helps.
I know that in its chorus, the National Ballet, created by the greatest Alicia Alonso, was meant to keep the classics and to bring the classic to the crowd, to the audience. But do you think it's stagnated now in just the classic? Do you think it should spread?
We need it. I think we need it. The goal of the Cuban National Ballet most of the time is to keep and maintain the classical ballet. And for me, this is priceless. But dancers need to do several things. They need to experiment different way of move, because it's what dancers do. Most of the time we try to be so respectful with the classical that the feeling is when you love a person so much and you try to care that love and you are thinking that you are doing the best, sometimes the other person feel like is being asphyxiated. So this is kind of the feeling that I feel with the classicals right now. I love to do Giselle, Soleil, Don Q, Carmen, but I need like a dancer, and most of the dancers need to spread out and to remind the classic where they are and try something different.
If you weren't being a dancer, what would you be? What would you like to be? Start over.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Maybe actress or I don't know.
On that asphyxiating part, that's a really complicated concept, because how to keep the balance on that. What use a dancer to keep dancing? What's what you feel that makes you keep dancing? Not you, but in general.
Because when you are a dancer, you are dancers because you love to dance, not because economical or some kind of trouble that you find in Cuba or in the rest of the world. You really like to dance above all. So it doesn't matter if you have injuries, if you have problem. The salon is the best place you can do and you can feel in it.
You have role models in your dancing, your paradigms?
I don't have a lot, but I've been experiment with Pepe Evia, that used to be a dancer, a contemporary dancer in Cuba.
Was in Peru also, right?
Yes. Right now he did the choreography to me and to one dancer who danced in Peru, and was amazing. And I've been doing something different than classicals, but not really contemporary, not really the hard work that going to the floor and without point shoes.
You have said that being a dancer in Cuba, it's a hard thing, it's complicated. Why would you say that? What makes it complicated to be a dancer here?
I'm happy because it was a choice I made, and I'm happy because of that. But ballet is hard. Our country being ballerina is difficult because you don't have all the conditions to dance. But it was my choice. I think it is the same that the people who decide to live in Cuba because thought different that other people. This has happened to me. I like Cuba, is the best place in the world to live, but it's not because I deny that it's difficult. It's a difficult country.
There's competition among dancers when you are growing up, when you are trying to get into a company. There's competition there?
Of course. Even when you are training, the teacher training you saying, have you seen the pirouette of your partner? You should do the same. And it's a competition. It's the same, but you grow up with, in your mind, you have to do better or you have to do in the same way.
For those who doesn't know much about ballet, what does it mean to be first dancer? What it changes when you get to be first dancer in the stage and outside the stage?
It's about responsibility because you are in the top of the company and you are in the center in a performance. But nothing changed. You need to be training, you need to be concentrating your work. The difficult part is not to get to the first dancer, the difficult part is to improve from this.
And after being a first dancer, what's the next goal? What comes next?
Retire, I don't know.
But what do you want to do after ballet ends for you, if it ends?
I would like to be a maître, a ballet maître. Who means is like a teacher or professor, is above that because it's suppose you need to combine all the elements that the first dancer has and also pass through the process of create a choreography or know a classical ballet really well, knows yourself really well, all the details, all the style, the how you can train a young dancer, how you can help them to pass the process.
Today, Alicia is turning, it's her birthday today. Tell me, how's your relationship with Alicia and how's the Alicia we don't see, the Alicia that is among the dancers in the dance school and in the BNC? How is that Alicia we don't get to see because we are not dancers?
Alicia is like a mom. She's always there, even if she doesn't. She's even when she's not in a studio, she's there because she creates all of that with Fernando and Alberto. And it's a woman that you have to be really proud of her. It's a woman who is the goal for all of us. I would like to be one day like her, and I mean in the sense that she's a woman with a strong, strange, and made possible a dream who everybody thought that's impossible. It's the example that with work you can get whatever you want in life. Even when the troubles appear, she's over that kind of trouble. She's just Alicia.
You haven't think about keep dancing, but other style of dancing after you are done with ballet, after your retirement, like, you know, contemporary dance or something like that? You have to think about that?
I think it's not the way it should happen, because when you, the contemporary dance is not an option when you are in the 40s, or for me, because it's not a technical that you have in your body. You have to train that when you are young. So maybe people say it's easy because you don't have to put on points, or you have to do en dehors. It's more like a usual, but it's also hard. So if I get to do that from now, maybe when I stop dancing the classical ballet, I do some contemporary.
And what about choreography? You don't create choreographies in your head? Because that's what, from my point, I see that if I dance, I create things in my head. I think that all the dancers do that, but maybe that's a wrong opinion on mine.
This is very hard to explain, because the classicals, it doesn't happen so much with the classical ballet, the classical dancers. The contemporary dancers think different, because at the school they have other training that made them think about the choreography and give the tips to do that. When you're a classical dancer, you have to do it. You have to have that. It's not training, you know. So maybe I could do, or I will do some ballet or some little piece, but I don't know. I'm afraid about that.
Is there any moment that you pick over all the moments in the stage, a moment that you remember overall?
I do remember Giselle, my debut in Giselle, because I wonder, when I was a child and even younger, I wonder how the first dancers came through the bande scene, die, open their eyes, and continue. I couldn't understand why it's possible, because if you create a character and you are into the character, it's very hard to get out of it. And in my debut was very funny, because I was doing the madness scene, I died, and I feel terrible. I had a headache. I feel like I had all this sorrow inside me, and I realized I have to continue. But that feeling kind of helped me in the second act, because I was really thinking that I was flying, and I don't know, it's a feeling that you can express with word and you can repeat on the rehearsal. Just happen on stage.
Do you suffer on the stage?
Yeah.
But physical suffer also?
It was in my mind. I mean, the madness scene is you have to think that it is really happened, that the man that you love cheating on you, and you are being crazy on stage, and you lost of the sense of the reality, and that's really happened to me. I did know I was on stage dancing, of course, but I really thought my mom was my mom, my friends was my friend, and I was really lost on stage. But then you have to concentrate, because you are dancing. I mean, you have to continue.
And how important is the audience for a dancer?
The audience said what is good, what is not that good, and they really help you with the clown. You dance for people, most of all. You dance for the people can understand what you are doing, to transmit something, some feelings, to express yourself. So the audience is principal.
And it's different to dance in Cuba and to dance abroad. It's different.
Yeah.
In how?
It's different. People here knows very much about ballet. And also they understand you because they are Cubans. So if you do some pantomime, they will understand you because we have the same culture. It doesn't happen. We have been in China and didn't happen that way. They did like what they saw. We danced donkey, but you see the difference between the people who admire you, who understand you, who climb like insane, and the people who has different culture than you.
And what are you doing now? What are you gonna do next? What's your next dance?
We are rehearsing Swan Lake. Okay. We have performance all January, and it's going to be very emotional performance, I think. But Swan Lake, we are doing Swan Lake at the moment.
How's your personal life? How is a dancer in general personal life? Do your love life, your friends, all is around ballet, or it's a mixture of all parts?
I need to say that ballet is a lonely career. So when you are a ballet dancer, you don't have so many friends around you. You don't have a lot of time to go out and drink and be happy. But I'm like a Cuban, like a normal, like a usual Cuban. I have a boyfriend, I have a dog, my mom, my mother-in-law. I'm very happy, but I'm most of the time concentrated in work because it demands a lot of time, it demands a lot of effort.
And it what makes you happy?
Yeah, it's not a war, it's my life.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's a pleasure for me.
Thank you for inviting.